Good day, I'm Leandre Samuels with the latest news from the Seventh-day Adventist World Church at this hour. This is AFM News Now. Thank you for joining us. A two-week evangelistic series conducted in the remote outback town of Oodnadatta in South Australia has resulted in baptism of 9 individuals. Held from September 19 to October 3, the event was conducted by Pastor David Fletcher, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Ministries Director for the South Australian Conference, alongside missionaries from Fink Adventist Church in the Northern Territory. The 16 presentations were adaptations of the PNG for Christ evangelistic program held earlier this year. The members who attended from Fink shared the gospel message through indigenous word and song, which proved vital to the success of the meetings. Prior to the meetings, advice was also sought from Pastor Don Felberg and South Australian Conference President Pastor David Butcher about communicating effectively with the community. According to Pastor Fletcher, Fink Church members have increased their outreach efforts in recent times, also conducting evangelistic series in Kenmore Park, South Australia, and Santa Teresa in the Northern Territory. The Oodnadatta evangelistic series is just the latest chapter in Fink's outreach efforts. According to toogoodtogo.co.uk, 20 million slices of bread, 4.4 million potatoes, 3.1 million glasses of milk, 2 million eggs, and almost 1 million bananas are wasted every day in the UK. And yet, a news report from April states that the World Food Programme estimates that due to COVID-19, about 25 million people are forecast to be facing acute food insecurity by the end of the year. Yemen is located to the northeast of Ethiopia and south of Saudi Arabia. The situation in that country is considered by many agencies as the worst humanitarian crisis in the world, with more than 24 million people, some 8% of the population, in need of humanitarian assistance. Address Integrated Cash Intervention Program aims to increase the food sectors in communities in all Joff, Ad Halee, Abiyan, and Aden through the provision of cash assistance to meet the basic food needs of 4,300 households in Yemen. Seventh-day Adventists in Ontario, Canada are celebrating the procurement of a Cessna 185 aircraft that was acquired in collaboration with Adventist World Aviation. The plane arrived at the Oshawa Executive Airport from the United States and represents a new chapter in Ontario Adventist history, as it was acquired to support the health and humanitarian needs of remote or isolated Indigenous communities in northwestern Ontario. On Friday, October 9, a dedication ceremony for the Cessna and its mission was held at the airport. Participants included President of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Ontario, Mansfield Edwards, Executive Secretary Jacob Bibulovic, President of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada, Mark Johnson, AWA's Canada Project Manager and Global Operations Manager Ray Young, and the Cessna's pilot and manager Brian Koldick. Edwards highlighted that Ontario Adventist leaders became aware of the dismal public health records for Indigenous communities in the North 6 or 7 years ago. Their rates of suicide, cancer, and other diseases far exceeded the average in Ontario. Their lifespans were also 4 to 5 years shorter. Adventist leaders found this to be unacceptable and unfair to this community, and therefore moved to this initiative. The anticipation is that this project will facilitate health training, agricultural projects, and other humanitarian services. And finally this week, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, in Romania inaugurated the new Hope for Immigrants Educational Center in Bucharest on October 7, 2020. In attendance were ADRA team members, volunteers, and donors. The center will cater to refugees' needs, especially those coming from Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Somalia, and Ethiopia, leaders reported. Construction of the center took place in 2020 despite pandemic restrictions. Several Seventh-day Adventist church organizations and anonymous donors contributed to make this project a reality. The center is already offering Romanian, English, and Arabic language courses. It also provides, among other services, classes in tailoring and music, along with haircuts for men. The center is open for seminars, receptions, and family celebrations as allowed, all free of charge. Leaders said that through Hope for Immigrants, ADRA Romania recognizes the human side of the current refugee crisis, as well as the value of each person involved. Up next, Hope Now. This week on Hope Now, we listen as Paul speaks about patience. He says in Romans 5, "There's more to come. We continue to shout our praise even when we're hemmed in with troubles, because we know how troubles can develop passionate patience in us, and how that patience in turn forges the tempered steel of virtue, keeping us alert for whatever God will do next. In alert expectancy such as this, we're never left feeling shortchanged. Quite the contrary, we can't round up enough containers to hold everything God generously pours into our lives through the Holy Spirit." This was Hope Now. Remember, you can have hope today. Don't give up. Those were the news stories that made AFM News Now this week. This week's top story: Ontario Adventist dedicates Cessna 185 for mission. We encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to receive notifications whenever we upload new content. On behalf of all of us here at Advent Flame Media, I am Leondre Samuels. And this has been AFM News Now. Pleasant viewing. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at Advent Flame Media for tuning in every week. We are thankful for you, for your support, for your prayers, and we ask that you will continue to support us, that you'll continue to share the love, and that you'll share each time we put out these newscasts, that you'll share it with your friends, your family, everyone around you, because we want to make sure that persons have access to hope, to the hope that we can find in Jesus Christ alone. I'm Leondre Samuels, always wishing you God's richest blessings.